Most sellers overprice their home. And I get it. It's your biggest asset, it's emotional, and someone on Facebook probably told you it's worth more than you think. But here's the thing, overpricing doesn't mean you get more money, it actually tends to cost you more money. And today I'm going to show you the 4 biggest pricing mistakes I see sellers make and what to do instead so you actually sell your home for what it's worth. I'm Shay Fischer. I'm a realtor here in Calgary, and I have this conversation with sellers every week. So let's get into it. The first mistake is pricing your home based on what you need and not what it's actually worth. So I hear this all the time. I need 400,000 to put towards my next place, or I still owe this much on my mortgage, so I need at least this much. And I understand that. I really, really do. But the market doesn't care what you need. And that's the harsh truth, but it is still the truth. So your home is worth what a buyer is willing to pay for it, not what your mortgage balance says and not what your next purchase requires. This is the number one emotional trap sellers fall into, and it's completely natural. But if you price based on your needs instead of the data, you're setting yourself up to sit on the market. What do you do instead? You start with the numbers. What have comparable homes in your area actually sold for in the last 60 to 90 days? Not listed for, sold for. That's your starting point. Everything else is going to be noise. Mistake number 2 is using your neighbor's sale as your price. Well, my neighbor just sold for 420, so mine's worth at least that. I hear this one a lot too. And it makes sense on the surface. Same street, similar looking homes, but every property is different. Was theirs an end unit and yours is interior? Was it 200 square feet bigger? Did they have a fully renovated kitchen and yours is original? Did they sell 6 months ago when the market was different than it is today? All of those things matter. Market conditions shift month to month. What your neighbor got in October might not be what the market is going to support now in March. So what to do instead is compare apples to apples. Look at square footage, layout, conditions, upgrades, and when it sold. A good agent adjusts for all of that and gives you an honest number. Not the number you want to hear, the number that's actually real. Mistake number 3, this is the big one and honestly the most expensive one, is pricing high to leave room to negotiate. I get the logic. I really, really do. You think, if I list at 420, a buyer will offer 400 and will likely meet in the middle. It sounds smart. It does. But here's what's actually going to happen. Overpriced homes sit. And the longer a home sits on the market, the more buyers start to wonder what's wrong with it. They're going to start asking, why hasn't that one house sold? There must be something going on. So now you're doing price reductions, chasing the market down, and you end up selling for less than if you just priced it right from day one. And here's the other thing people don't think about. Buyers compare. So if your home is $20,000 over every other comparable listing, they don't offer you $20,000 less. They just skip yours entirely and go see the one that's priced right. So what do you do instead? You price at or just below market value. And I know what you're thinking. That feels counterintuitive, but that's how you generate urgency. That's how you get multiple showings in the first week. That's how you create a situation where buyers are competing for your home. And the best negotiating position you can be in, it's not a high asking price. It's multiple offers on the table. Mistake number 4 is ignoring what the market is telling you. If your home has been on the market for 3+ weeks and you're barely getting showings, the market is trying to tell you something. And the answer is almost always price. Most sellers wait far too long to adjust. They think the right buyer just hasn't seen it yet. And look, I want to be respectful of that hope. I do, but the data usually tells a different story. So here's what I do with my clients. We set a review point before we even list. We agree up front. If we don't have a certain number of showings or an offer by week 2 or 3, we're going to sit down, we're going to look at the numbers, and we're going to revisit our pricing strategy. That way, it's not emotional, it's not going to be reactive, it's built into the plan from day one, and it's not going to be a failure. It's just part of our strategy. So, those are the 4 biggest pricing mistakes I see sellers make. And if you notice the theme, it all comes back to the same thing. Start with the data and not with the emotion. Pricing your home right isn't about leaving money on the table. It's about creating the conditions where buyers will actually compete for your home instead of scrolling past it. If you're thinking about selling and you want an honest conversation about what your home is actually worth in today's market, DM me the word price on Instagram. No pressure, no pitch, just the real numbers. And I'll tell you what the data says, and we can go from there.